Well, hello everyone. I'm just gonna wait a few minutes for everyone to drop in, but just to give you a quick brief of what's gonna happen in this live stream, I already have a screenshot that I took from Pinterest of this kitchen, and I'm looking forward to actually going through it and modeling, creating the materials, and also the lighting and everything with every single one of you here on YouTube. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try and model the raw parts of this. So the raw parts of the modeling, I always consider like the flooring, the ceiling, the windows, walls, stuff like that. Lucky for us, this scene isn't too filled up with like too many different kind of complicated stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the rectangular tool. Click once there, and let's say somewhere about here. Now, we don't have exact measurements of this space, but what we can do here is I'm just going to draw a rectangle, and then with the F key I can just offset inside. As you can see, now we have a new surface within the surface that we created earlier with the rectangular tool. Now usually a height of this, let's say, let me first just draw these out. That way when we actually build the walls, we don't take too much space for ourselves. We just make the whole workflow easier. So usually this has a height of somewhere around 300. As you can see, this is just way too big. We won't need something like this. Let me just cut this off completely. And yeah, maybe the walls are a bit too thick, so I'm gonna reduce it a bit. I'm not working on exact measurements, as I said, so I'm just gonna try and guess things over here. By the way, everyone that dropped and came in the live stream right now, please let me know where you're watching from. This is very important for me. I love hearing where you guys are from and everything like that. I'm gonna keep an eye over here in the chat while we go through this whole workflow. Let me just open everything here, that way I can view the chat. Okay, perfect. All right, so we have people coming in. Just to let you know, I just dropped a link in the chat. If you want to check that out, feel free to do so. But now we're going to continue with the rest of the workflow here. So right now we can see that we're going to have a window set up over here. We can just go inside this wall, and let me guess, we're going to need somewhere around, let's say 65 centimeters of this, just to build out the actual kitchen cabinets. So something like this, and then let's say maybe the size of the wall, and then we can go ahead and build the windows, something similar to this. So this is where the windows are going to be. However, I'm just going to cut this. Actually, let me just take this off completely. I'm going to delete this surface as well, and now we can move on with the rest. So this is the opening of the window. Now, before I go on and do all the detailing of the ceiling and everything, I just want to keep this open. That way we have an easier modeling of the kitchen. What I'm guessing here is, this is what I'm going to do. First of all, I want to actually just extrude the flooring downwards, or actually push pull it, whatever you want to call it. Let me just delete these lines here. I'm going to push this downwards for, let's say, 30 centimeters. I can copy this surface if I wanted to, just to have it kind of intact with everything. Let me push a little upward as well. Okay, this is a bit messy, but it's fine. We can work with this. Let's make this a group. Now, we're gonna go on, and I'm gonna see to kind of guess how long this whole kitchen is gonna be. So I'm guessing every single one of these cabinets is like 60 centimeters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 by 6 is 42, and so basically we're gonna need 60 by 420 centimeters. So let's do 60 by 420 centimeters, and this is gonna be what the kitchen cabinets are gonna be divided into. Now, first of all, let's also just extrude this at 90 centimeters first. I want to make sure that I have this as a group. That way it doesn't mess with the rest of the modeling that we have here, which is not super pretty at the moment, but as we go on, it's going to get much better. So let's see how everything will come together. Now, first, let's divide these cabinets. What I'm going to do here is we can also just start off by doing the footer, I guess, of these cabinets. I'm not too familiar with the terminology in English, what you call this part, but it's totally fine. Since I'm just gonna do something like this, I'm gonna push this in for about 3 centimeters. And now let's draw this out something like, let's say 59 centimeters. I'm gonna copy this. We're gonna leave a little gap in between them. And let's just do this times 6. Okay. So something like this could work for us. Let's do another centimeter for this gap. And now let me check, how do we stand on this distance? So this one is 49. We're gonna extend this by 11 centimeters. Okay, perfect. Now we have a base of what is looking like over here. Now what we can tell is that these two cabinets are kind of going to be pulled all the way to the ceiling. This one over here as well, but these ones are going to be right where they are. So let me just draw a line where we divide these two. I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to go all the way to the ceiling with these, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this part of the cabinet. Okay, now I'm guessing these ones look rectangular, so they have to be 60 by 60 from what I see. I'm gonna go ahead and go inside the group, and let's do this, and I'm gonna pull it all the way on this side. By the way, I'm probably guessing that in real life this kitchen has another kind of part like this on this side, but we can not see it through the composition that we have right here, so we're just gonna move on for now. Over here we have some microwaves, I guess a furnace, so we're gonna divide that part as well. Let me just do this real quick. I think the gap should be 1 centimeter here as well. And then what do we have here? So if this is 60, this is a rectangle, I guess this has to be somewhere like 40. I'm eyeballing a lot of these just so we can move on quicker. The point here is not to be super exact with measurements. I just want to show you the whole workflow, how we go from basically a picture to a realistic render. However, it probably is a lot easier if we would have the floor plans as well. Okay, now I'm not sure. I think these should be a bit higher. Let me just go inside the group once again. I think we're gonna need about another 60 centimeters of these. I mean, I'd say 20. Let's just leave these at 20. Okay, one thing that I can tell is I think I made the ceiling height a bit larger than what it is over here, but we're gonna see as we go with it. I don't care if it's larger anyway. So let's move on. We're gonna have to do the countertop, so I'm gonna use the F key to do the offset, and then I will cut these parts off completely and this part off completely, and we can just delete this. Oh, 1 second. We can just delete these off. I'm gonna do the same on this side. Now I'm gonna extrude this for about, let's say 2 centimeters. Let me see how thick it is actually in the image. Yeah, 2 centimeters seems fine. And then let's push this outwards. I think all of these, I think it's smart to just delete the lines first, or maybe just push this one instead of that face. Okay, and now what we can do is I'm gonna draw another 2 centimeters here. Let's delete this part off. I'm gonna go ahead, let me check. I'm not sure if this is actually in front of the cabinets. Let me check. I think I should have just kept this inside, which is fine still, because who cares. I'm gonna move this upwards once again. Let's do another 2 centimeters here. Okay, push pull is on the other side, and then let's do the same over here as well. Okay, so now we have a pretty good base of what it's looking like here in the kitchen. One thing that we have to do now is divide these parts as well. So I'm gonna go inside, draw a line here, upwards. Let's go another part here. Let's draw this out. And then what we're gonna need here is also another gap, obviously, for this part where the furnace and the microwave is gonna be. I'm gonna do this another 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, and then we're gonna do the same for these cabinets up top as well. By the way, I'm not pushing or pulling them until I actually until I'm actually finished with drawing all of them. That way I can just delete these intersections and just pull them all at once. So let me just draw this out all the way through the end. Okay. One thing that I do notice is that we're gonna have some line lights going under here. So I can draw that out right now. I'm gonna leave, I think about 2 centimeters. So something like this can work. 2.5 I think works better. I'm gonna push this in a little bit. Let me close off this surface because it's annoying that happens. Okay, good. This surface can be deleted as well. Now all we need to do here is just go here and just do the vertical lining like that. Delete this part, and now I can just select these. Okay, let's see. So now I can just go something like this, copy it all through based on what we have on the other cabinets. I think this should look right. I'm not even checking what's happening on those cabinets up there, but let's see. Okay, yeah, this definitely works. Okay, so now what else do we have here? We're gonna go ahead and let me just save the file first. Kitchen modeling live stream. If you have any other questions, just let me know down in the chat. I'll be happy to answer them. In the meantime, feel free to let me know where you guys are from. I'm always curious about that. Also, let me know if you can hear me well. Maybe the music is too loud or something like that. But yeah, just feel free to ask any questions overall. So from what I can see, the island here is proportionate to where these cabinets are standing. So what I'm gonna do here is, let me just draw something like this. Let me just pull this for, let's say, somewhere here. I'm guessing a lot of this stuff, and I'm guessing we're gonna need a space of 120 centimeters between them. I'm gonna do 140 just to make sure. Hi from Indonesia. Says Sutemu, if I can pronounce that correctly. Nice to have you here. I do see that there. I do have a lot of viewers from Indonesia, United States, obviously, India, Philippines, Vietnam. I do see a lot of those, so that's great to know. Now, this looks to be 120. It's like a waterfall island. Let's see. Let me push this inwards a bit. Let me go towards here. I'm gonna go for 90 centimeters like this. I'm gonna pull this to be the same height as that, and then I can use the offset tool to go inside. Hi Mellows from Malaysia here. Hey, nice to see you over here. Not much Malaysian viewership, I think. I haven't seen much, but it's always good to have diversity in demographics. I love to see that. From India. Nice. I do see a lot of viewership from India. I also work on a few projects in India with my 3D agency firm, which is pretty cool. Now, let me see what we can do here. I think we're pretty accurate, like considering we're eyeballing and guessing everything from the picture. We haven't started to do any materials or anything like that as of now, but what we need now is just to add the ceiling. We're gonna need to add the windows. the curtain, some of these other parts. I think here we're gonna need to do more of, let's just do the high mellows from Portugal. Oh, nice to have you here. I think I'm working soon on an online conference that Portuguese organization is hosting. So yeah, that's great to know. Okay, let me just make sure that I do know what kind of wood is there, because I'm not sure I can see from the picture in SketchUp. Okay. I'm just gonna guess. It looks like planks or something. So big support from Tunisia. Nice to have you here as well. That's great to see. That's very great to see. Okay. Let's do 5 centimeters for this, or I'm just gonna leave this out. Maybe I can just do it with a displacement map or something. So I don't want to waste time on that. Okay, let's move on. So let's go over here. I'm gonna try and search for sliding window. Let's see on the models. I think this one works just fine. Oh, I hate when this happens. Let me see if I can log in real quick here, because I'm gonna need for the other assets later on as well. I don't know why it just lost. Always interested in watching your workflow from modeling, SketchUp to rendering Enscape. Yeah, I mean this is the usual workflow if I'm doing projects like these. But usually if I'm doing exteriors or kind of more larger projects, I usually do the windows, the walls, and the slabs or the ceilings in ArchiCAD, and that takes a lot less time for those parts. Anyway, we do have this window here, so I'm just gonna input it right there. I'm gonna go inside and make this bigger. Let me see. Maybe I can just move this over here, move this wall over here, because we're gonna cover that with curtains as well, so it doesn't really matter. The windows seem to be black, but we're gonna take a look at that later on. I think, let's see if we can find chairs similar to that here. So here's just a quick tip that a lot of people ask me about. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna type in bar stools or bar chairs. We can try different kind of keywords. A lot of people ask me where I find the 3D models, and honestly most of them are just in SketchUp. However, if you want higher quality models to appear here, you're gonna have to go to filters, and then in the polygon count just increase the limit. Usually a higher polygon model means that it's more detailed, it has more polygons, it's more organic, stuff like that. So but let's see if I can find something similar to this. I know it's going to be a challenge, but yeah, I'm not going to waste too much time. So what does this look like? Let me check. Nah, that doesn't look that good. Let me move downwards. What about this? This looks quite similar. I'm just going to download this, that way we don't waste too much time. Hi from Iran. Nice to have you here as well. Can you hear me well? Is everything fine with the mic? This is pretty similar, right? Yeah. We do have, let me check. We do have 3 chairs here. Now, one thing, this is a quick tip. So what most people do here is they're just gonna copy one chair and do all of these 3. Most of your tips and guides in YouTube videos do help me better understanding, get the most realistic render in Enscape. Appreciate it a lot. I'm glad I could help. I really am glad that I can help, and I'm glad that you guys appreciate the tips that I've given out. Like, I think not enough people understand that a lot of the free stuff that I do over here is what most other people charge for, like for online courses. But I mean, with this, you can imagine what's actually included inside my online courses. So it's just a whole nother level. However, let me not get into promo too much, but I was saying a lot of people just do something wrong here where they just kind of duplicate and all of these chairs look similar or kind of identical. What I recommend is to select each one of them and kind of move them around like a few degrees over here and then a few degrees over here as well. This is what this is what chairs normally would look like in most households. I do say this a lot, but unless you're super OCD and super control freak, you will not have all chairs at 90 degrees. So just keep that the same in the renders. Perfect. So you're saying everything's running smooth. Okay, now let's move on to some more stuff. One thing I can notice immediately as well is that I think we did make this a bit thicker than it should be. Let me just try and fix this. So I can just copy this like here. I think I'm gonna make half of it. So, or maybe I'll just leave it like this. Maybe it's not worth just even spending time on that. So we're gonna have the sink over here. I think the stove, the microwave are all on that side. We do have the windows. Now I don't want to move on to the ceiling because that's gonna take away the flexibility that we have to move around the 3D model right now. Now we're gonna move on to, let's do a bit of the materials, or maybe let's just set up the composition first. So let me just open SketchUp real quick, and then I'm gonna divide the screen as always in half. So something like this. Okay, looks very awful. Nice. I like when it looks like this because you guys can actually see the transformation as it happens, because there's going to be a lot of changes going on here. First things first, let's go to 2-point perspective. Second thing, let's do field of view a lot lower. Third thing, let's match the camera angle to something like this. And now, just for the sake of being able to see like in the Enscape window a bit more realistically, let me just kind of close off the ceiling. I need to open this up because that absolutely doesn't need to happen here. I'm gonna go with something like this here as well. Let me just close this whole area off once again. Give me the rectangle tool, delete this. Okay, not bad. One thing that we do have to do with the ceiling as we're standing here right now is we need to create this gap over here, which is going to be for the curtains. So I'm going to do that real quick. Let me see. Yeah. So I'm going to go from this side up to, let me just go closer up to here. Let me just move this upwards. I have a question. Why on your real work project you mentioned use ArchiCAD for monitor wall? Is it more better or faster workflow? It's a lot faster. For me, it's a lot faster. It's not better per se, because the final output doesn't really make a huge difference, but it's just a lot faster for me. And the reason why I use ArchiCAD over Revit is that I think Revit has a more complicated workflow on converting your files from Revit to SketchUp. And with ArchiCAD, the materials convert perfectly and everything is just perfectly smooth. So yeah. Okay, let me move forward with this. So a few things we need to do. Let me just go inside the kitchen modeling. I'm gonna need to delete these intersections. That way I can push-pull a lot faster. I was working with Revit until I saw your tutorials. I got interested in SketchUp. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people stories are like that, because usually in architecture school, we learn kind of BIM software more than SketchUp, or at least that's what I hear from my experience talking to other people. And the issue is when you actually start working with like 3D, you realize that finding good 3D models, and not good, just any 3D models, is hard to find for Revit or ArchiCAD. And the Sketch Warehouse is just perfect for this kind of stuff, especially for interior work. I believe it's just amazing. So yeah, I used to work with ArchiCAD. I used ArchiCAD for, I used Enscape for ArchiCAD for about 2-3 months until I switched to SketchUp. It was harder at the beginning, just like any other software, but after some times, I got the hang of it and it was totally fine. Let me just delete a few more of these. This can be deleted as well. Okay, perfect. By the way, if you guys haven't checked out the 14-day realistic rendering program, I think it's crucial to actually just start elevating and just improving your renders overall. I do have a lot of bonuses there right now. You have the link in chat, you have the link in the description. I'm giving out $1,000 free of exercise files for anyone who joins. I'm actually also giving away a free one-on-one call with me as a consultation, proven methods to get clients, access to a group where you will get feedback for your renders. So check that out. It's actually the best program out there to learn realistic rendering, and I say this with full confidence. We have a lot of successful students there. I talked to Michelle, one of the students in their firm some time ago, and he's actually managing over 30 projects right now just through the 14-day realistic rendering program, which I'm very happy about actually. So yeah, Enscape is available with ArchiCAD. Okay, let's move on to some of the materials. This one over here seems like a gray. We can sort that out pretty quickly. Let me just go to colors. Let me just choose this one for now, and then we can fix that later on. It's totally fine. I just want to do kind of a quick overview of all these. This flooring, I think we can find something like this in the Enscape material library, which is very, very useful. Let me go to wood, and then we can scroll down. This one will work fine. We're going to modify all of these later on to look more like in the picture. Now let's make this bigger, at least twice the size, or let's go 120 as of now. Yes, I think the size is more appropriate with what we have over here. Yes, the color needs some tweaking. So what we're gonna do here is I'm just gonna lower the saturation, and now it looks pretty close to what we have here. It doesn't have to look exactly like that, but you get the idea. Okay, now let's go and also change the color on these windows because that green is just killing me. Let's do this. Okay, that's good. Actually, I'm gonna make this a bit lighter. Now let's also add some curtains. So I'm gonna go to the 3D warehouse, search up curtains. Okay, let me actually check how these look over here. So these are kind of like beige. We can change the color of those later on, but I think I'm just gonna import these, and or maybe I'll just import these. These look a bit better modeled. I'm gonna import those and then delete the other parts and just keep the part where that we actually need here. Let's just wait a few seconds. Okay. I'm gonna import this, and let's go inside the group, delete this part, and I'm gonna be left with only this. Okay, this is perfectly fine. I think we can just extend this to make it look just like in the image if you want to be a bit more precise, even though we don't have to, but the modeling doesn't look that well now, but maybe. Oh, I think it's in the wrong side, actually. I think this is more like it, but I still do not like this curtain. Let's just leave it like this, actually. It's fine as of now. I can just move this backwards. Let me just change this to a foliage material. Maybe this will make it look better. We'll see. We'll see later on. We can do some tweaks. I just want to do a good base right now. Now, something else that we have here is this marble material. That is not the easiest to find. Let's go on to the wood ones. I want to get the easy ones done first. So for wood, let me see if we can use these planks here. I think it's pretty similar to these ones. Let's just take this off. What is your system configuration? What graphics card are you using? I'm using an RTX 2060. I don't have a crazy graphics card or anything like that. The good thing about Enscape is that you don't need a crazy graphics card anyway. So yeah. just something like this. I don't think it even is the most expensive one out there. It's not close to being the most expensive one out there, but it still works completely fine for me. I'm able to complete a lot of projects through this. So yeah, okay, let's keep it like that. Maybe it needs to be a bit lighter, something like this. We can see later on. Let's change the wood material on these chairs. Let me go over here. I'm gonna keep the screen on this side. I do have an Enscape resources folder that you guys cannot see because there's some pretty secret stuff there. No, I'm just kidding, but okay, let's see how this material will look like. Now, what do you guys struggle with the most in Enscape? Like, I'm really curious to hear this out because a lot of people struggle with. Wait, what the hell? Oh, I think it has a. Yeah, it should be wood here. Keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Thank you. Let's tone down the saturation, make this darker, and then I will kind of tone down the tint in these. Yeah, definitely need some toning down. What do you guys struggle with most in rendering in general? Not even Enscape. Is it materials? Is it lighting? Is it the composition? Do you feel like your 3D models are not good enough? Let me know. I really want to see how you're setting the composition and scene before you start the render. I think we're just gonna stick with something like this, even though I haven't set it up completely. But let me just fix this part of the material, and then we're gonna go back to setting up the composition. Actually, thanks for reminding me that I haven't set the camera up. Let's keep this darker. Okay, let me check. We're gonna fix that in a second. I'm gonna go to visual settings. We're gonna go to output, and we're gonna go to custom. I'm gonna set this up as 1000 by 1200. We're gonna use the save frame tool here, and I mean, we can also lower the field of view a bit more. It won't make a huge difference. Let's go a bit on this side. I think this is gonna be pretty much it for the composition. Now I can just set up the camera, not the asset library, but the camera, and just type in camera 1. Okay, let me go back to this wood material here because that was causing some trouble. Let me go over here. Let's go to the color. This is not right. We have to be somewhere around here with the color. A bit softer. Come on. Okay. That's better. No. What? Oh my God. I think he's starting to lag out a bit. Let me just choose this once again. You should go to advanced and be a bit more over here. Thank you. I'll stay there. Maybe a bit softer. Let me check the image. I think it's fine like this. I'm just gonna leave it like this as of now. The fabric material, that can look better later on, or maybe I can just take care of it right now. Actually, the Enscape material library has some pretty crap materials, but some of the good ones are in the fabrics material. Stuff that I still struggle in rendering in general is lighting. It's a tough one to get the most realistic outcome, so yeah, that's what I'm still improving today. Lighting is always the trickiest one in my opinion, because with materials you can always do something with PBR materials and just sort that out. I mean, it's pretty automatic in a sense. Composition, it takes some time to get used to it, but after a few tries and after a few projects, you just understand what will look good and what will not. But the lighting is actually what I believe is the hardest part as well. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. Let's see how this will look. Is the color close to this or not? I think it's a bit darker. Saturation is a bit lower. Okay, I think we got the color right now. I just want to make sure that we have a bit more depth into this material. I think this will work fine once we set up all the lighting and everything else. This one material is not working at all. It absolutely sucks. Nice haircut. I don't know why everyone keeps telling me this, but I absolutely prefer the short hair I had earlier this year, just for practicality reasons. Anyway, let me just move on to this wood material. There's not anything particularly wrong with it. I just think I should, I think it pops up a bit too much. Maybe let's lower the saturation. Okay, let's just leave it like this. Now, one material that is not going to be super easy to find is going to be the marble. But I think I did a project in a live stream with a bathroom where I know there's a similar material to that one. Let me just go softer in this as well. Okay, perfect. We're gonna take care of this. Now, let me just find something like this. Let me go to, I'm gonna show you where I get all my materials. So if you go to ambientcg.com, actually I have no idea if we're gonna be able to find this exact material that we're looking for. But this is where I usually get all my materials. I'm not affiliated by them by any means. The most similar material that I can find to that is going to be either this one or this one, but we're still going to need to do some tweaking. I think this one is going to work better if I just lower the saturation on this. It is really tricky, like damn tricky when it comes to settings, lighting, when stuff like IS, it's hard to choose the right one. Honestly, I know a lot of people spend way too much time choosing the right IS profile and stuff like that. I think any type of IS profile that you choose is going to look better than the default spotlight. So I don't think you should waste too much time on that, to be honest. Okay. Let's see how this material that we just selected and imported is going to look like. Let me go to materials. Let's open this up. Come on. Desktop. You're not supposed to see that. Nah, it's fine. Let me just go over here. This is just way too small. We need this to be larger. On the inside as well. Let's do 80. Let's do 140. Let's lower the saturation and increase the light of it. Done. No, I'm just, it's not super similar, but it's close enough, right? I think it's just bigger as well. Let me just do 170. Okay, I think we're closer now. Let me also go to the settings over here. Love that opinion from you. We'll apply that mindset later on. Yeah, I mean, don't waste time. I think that IS profiles make a difference. They're important, but I mean, any kind of IS profile is better than default spotlight. So just, I think more so focus on the main light. The main light being most of the time the natural lighting coming from the outside, which is usually set up by the fake lighting technique if you've seen my lighting videos. Now this is way too reflective. Let me tone this down a bit. Inverted. Okay, I'll take care of that later on. Let me use this material for this part of the kitchen as well. Now the texture might be a bit too strong, but yeah, we'll take care of that later on. I think it's still too small. Let's do 230. Yeah, this is more like it. And then we can also lower the tint. let's do 70, and the color can be yeah, I think this is fine. This is completely fine. I still don't like the wood here. We're gonna take care of that later on. The wood flooring needs to have less saturation and be lighter. Not as light as this, but let's see how this will look. Come on. Let's do 5. Not the biggest fan of this as of now either. I think if I add a tint here, let me just make this, okay. If I add a tint here, I might be able to come up with something better. Let's do, let me check the actual example while I'm doing this. Okay, so this is lighter, so we're gonna need something a bit more beige, I guess, or not. Let me use this in the color part here. I think this looks closer to this, especially when we have the lighting and the reflections fixed. It's gonna look much better. Okay. Okay. Let's move on with other stuff. What else do we have left? We need more reflections on these parts. We're gonna fix that with lighting. We're gonna need the lighting fixtures. Actually, let's do that right now. We're gonna go to the sketch warehouse. Let's search up magnetic lighting. Models, just find okay. Yeah, this works fine. I'm just gonna kind of multiply another spotlight as we're in there. So rotate this completely 90 degrees, just like that, and then move this downwards like this. Go a bit backwards, and now we're gonna push pull through this whole area. Let's rotate a tiny bit. Okay, perfect. Move this completely up. Nice. Now we need another spotlight, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we actually need a few more spotlights. Yeah, let's just do another one. I don't think we need that many. It's gonna look fine. It's not like it costs me money to add more spotlights, but okay, not like that. We're gonna need some like this. Let's rotate the spotlight towards this area as well, because that might help us later on to set up the lighting better. Maybe we move this more towards this side. And let's select these more on this side. Okay. Perfect. Not bad, not bad. We're going in the right direction, I feel like. Okay. This pendant lighting, I don't think that's hard to find. I mean, we can even model if we wanted to, but I don't want to do that. Pendant lighting. Let's go. Do you have the filler on? No, good. Let's do pendant line lighting. Yeah, it's just too easy. It's just too easy. Do you want to do some post-production image after render Photoshop? I'm not sure I'm going to do it on this one. I don't think we'll need post-production anyway. Let me delete this. This is going to look completely fine. We won't need much else. Let me select this. Let's do self-illuminated. Okay, not bad. I think we can go on to just turn off the sun brightness completely as of now. That's gonna be fine. Let's go with the rest of the stuff that we need here. We're gonna need microwaves. 2 microwaves. I know it's not actually 2 microwaves, but who cares? Let's do microwave. Who wants to play Minecraft after we're done with this render? What's the shortcut for the eyedropper tool? I'm going to show you right after selecting this. Just give me 1 second. So basically, if you have the paint bucket tool, you just use the Alt key on your keyboard and you hold it, and then if you click on the mouse, it'll basically select that. Let me rotate this. Do you use on my actual work? Sometimes I use post-production, sometimes not. Honestly, I very rarely use it. Maybe 95% of the project I don't use it. Okay, let's extend this upwards. We're gonna scale this up vertically. And then let's get another one that looks similar to this. I'm just gonna type in furnace models. Minecraft furnace, wow. What is it, stove? Yeah. I think we can just use this one and then take the other parts off. Let's see. Give me this one. No one wants to play Minecraft after the render. Okay. Fine. Let me move this over here. Let me scale this up. Move this into the wall, and I don't want to waste much time with this. This is going to be completely fine. Come on. Nice. This needs to be a bit more inwards as well. This is going to go completely inside, I think. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, perfect. This is going to be perfect. Good, good, good. All right. What else do we need here? Let's move on a bit quicker because I don't like when things stay too long. I don't have patience for this kind of stuff. I think this needs to be a bit more brownish. So let me select this right here. Let me go more like that. More like this. Right? Are we closer now? Yeah, I think this is fine. What else do we need here? Should I set up the lighting, or should I just leave that a bit special later on, because that's what most of you guys are in here for anyway. Let me just use this material on the contour top as well on these parts. No. Wait, on these parts, yeah. I should have just erased these lines. They're useless, completely useless. Okay, fine. Let me find a sink that I can make it in brass, a kitchen sink. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing right now. Are you like working somewhere, or are you in your studies? Are you doing university? Is it just a hobby of yours? Which most likely isn't, because who the fuck would choose 3D rendering as a hobby? But yeah, I mean, are you in studies, or what are you doing? Let me just use this. Perfect. I'll rotate it real quick. Move this downwards. Come on. Okay. I'll select this part, draw a rectangle. That way we can just cut this off, and that way it looks just like how it needs to be looking. Push pull this downwards. Nice. I think we're good here, right? Is the actual sink as well in brass? Yeah. Give me this. Let's go to metals. Brass. Do we have brass here? Yeah. Hi, I'm an interior design student. That's cool. Nice to have you here. I graduated from interior design, but we never learned SketchUp. We only learned Revit. What? You learn Revit for interior design? That absolutely sucks. Not that you won't need it at all, but like for modeling furniture, interiors, stuff like that, absolutely awful. Do you guys agree that most of universities and curriculums are completely bullshit? Because I think so. I think most of university is just it's nice you get to network with other people that have kind of the same goal as you and stuff like that, but not super helpful. Not for me anyways. And not only for me, if you've seen some of my podcasts, I do have guests from all over the world. And is most of the same experience for everyone else. I actually really 100%, yeah, it's useless. Graduated in degree architecture school last year. This year working as an interior designer in ID firm. Yeah, man, I think it's completely bullshit. I think there's not much that you learn. I talked to architects from all over the world, and there's basically not a single one of them that told me that university was helpful for them in the actual industry once they get out. Yes, if you want to get good, it's always 80% of work and research you do alone at home. 100%. I'm glad there's other people that actually agree with me on this one. There's still some people that say that, oh, you need paperwork on this and to get a job or whatever. I'm not saying that I am like an architectural designer right now. I mostly work with obviously 3D visualization, but I do some architecture here and there. I can tell from the past 3 years that I work online with people from like over 35 countries. I've done hundreds of projects. There wasn't a single time where the actual topic of university even came up. They never even asked me once if I had a degree or anything like that. And I guess, yeah, I mean, it's debatable. It's just because I'm doing 3D work, but honestly, I think there's workarounds even for like needing the license as an architect. There's many people out there that design without a license. Not to say that I know people like that, because I cannot say that here, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, let's move on to our project here. I have an issue where the spotlight doesn't work and through light intensity is at 100% and high lumens. And you basically cannot change that, or what's the issue here? You actually do all of your work with clients in Enscape? If so, what kind of work it actually is? I do 95% of my work in Enscape. There are some rare occasions where I use V-Ray, and that's very rare. However, 95% of my work I do with Enscape. Anyone who tells you need a super complicated software and super expensive computer to do work online with 3D rendering is just straight up lying to you. So don't listen to that. I fell trap of that as well. I didn't know that I could get clients with Enscape, but yeah, I mean, one thing that if you're offering your work, if you're good at the software, most clients do not care what you do it with. However, one really huge advantage you're gonna have with Enscape is that you're gonna be a lot faster than anyone else who works in whatever kind of other software. Hello everyone, I'm a newbie. That's perfect. You know what? You came just in the right time. Most people are telling you that you're going to be replaced by AI, right? Wow. I see a lot of people being hesitant to just started to learn 3D rendering just because they think it's going to be completely replaced with AI. Yeah, I mean, that's going to take another like 10 years, at least 10 years. So no need to worry about that. Let me save this here. Let me move on with the rest of the work. We did some progress while I was talking about, while I just went on a rant about university and all that stupid bit. I think it's all a scam, to be honest. Not a scam, but not worth it. I really liked, I talked with David Tomic. I'm not sure, you guys are probably familiar with him. He does a lot of YouTube videos. He was a guest on the Scale podcast, and he told me that in some places in Australia, you can basically choose to do a mentorship over going to college or university as an architect. I thought that was just awesome. If I lived in Australia, I would 100% do that. Imagine how much more prepared you are if you actually do 5 years in an architecture firm, getting mentored by people who are already in the field. Meanwhile, you are at the field as well. You'll just learn way more than just than going to university. Most of my own professors in university never even designed a doghouse, let alone something bigger. And yeah, as you can see, I'm pretty pissed off about that. So, okay, this is gonna work for the lighting, I think, later on. What are we missing here? I think we're missing some reflections on this part. I think the lighting, I think I should change the direction of the lighting a little bit. Let me try something out. Yes, an update after update, closer to realistic results, coronavirus. Enscape, yeah, to be honest with you, I just think that coronavirus are always going to have upper hand in terms of quality, just because of the more kind of accurate calculations that they can have with processing with GPU and Enscape with a CPU, and Enscape works with a GPU. But I think it's fine. I'll take the speed over like a 10% increase in quality any time of the day, especially if you know what you're doing with Enscape, which a lot of people know nowadays, especially a lot of students from the 14-day realistic rendering program. If you want to get into that, there's a 50% discount, and just join now with the link in the description of this chat. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. Let me just rotate this a bit, like over on this side. I think it doesn't look that bad as of now. Yeah, I think it looks more balanced right now than what it had previously. Respect from Egypt. Respect from Kosovo, back to you, Ibrahim Fayek. Let me go to the Enscape material editor. I'm gonna go over here. Let me lower the roughness. In my uni, we had to spend a ridiculous amount of time drawing naked Asian people when we could have, for example, learned national rent. What? That's insane. Kind of feel wasted for the past of the year, but hey, at least I learned some most basic things, even though it never be enough. Honestly, if I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, yes, YouTube helps, but it's a lot slower than just joining a program like 14-day realistic rendering, because everything is just so structured there. Yes, YouTube videos are helpful, but they're just not always in the right order for your skill set or anything like that. So that's the main reason why I made all that 14-day actionable plan, and it actually works. So yeah, I hear a lot of the time people waste a lot of not only time but money as well on learning realistic rendering, and they never go anywhere without it. But I think if it takes longer than 14 days to get at least to a decent level, you're just doing it wrong. Let me just find, actually, I think I can find it over here in the asset library. Kitchen, let's go to the kitchen tabs over here. This works fine. Put this over here, rotate it, and yeah, I don't want to waste any more time with this. What else do we need here? Let's go. The flooring needs to be a bit more beige. These chairs are fine, I guess. We can work a bit with more lighting. It's fine for now as well. Let's increase the intensity on this light. So if I go over here, let me choose this. Yeah, this is better. What else do we need? What else do we need? I still see there's some room for improvement, but yeah, let's add an HRI. So let me go to Polyhaven. If you actually check the reference image, you can see that there's kind of a forest or something over there. So if you go in Polyhaven, let me just I think this one this one is gonna work perfectly fine. Lucky enough it showed up in the first search. Let me go to visual settings, you go to sky, you go to skybox, and then we can just load the skybox from file, downloads. Let's see how this will look. What's going on here? Okay, this definitely doesn't work. Let me check if I can try something else here. Okay, let me try and find another HDRI because this definitely does not work that well. Where are you from? I'm from Kosovo, Europe. It's the newest country in Europe. It's in Eastern Europe, Southeast Europe. It's a post-war country. I was born a year after the genocide that happened here in Kosovo, which is interesting. It's an interesting experience to grow up here. But yeah, I prefer to live here over anywhere else. I mean, anywhere else compared to the other countries that I've been in. But yeah, I lived in the US for a year. I think it's not for me. But resting place, let's see what this HDRI has to offer. Okay, I think this is fine. Let's go back with this. Something's missing. I think let's tune this back, and I need to go to these lights. I'm not sure if it's the rectangular light or the spotlights that are causing this to happen. I think the spotlights are fine. Let me check the rectangular light. I think this is better. What I'm trying to realize here is I think we have some issues with lighting, not big issues, but I'm gonna fix them right now. I know exactly what's going on here. Okay, so let me just select this marble. I think this definitely needs to be more reflective. Take this off, go 30%, go 20%, much better. Choose this and tune this down, I guess. Let's go to the HDRI. I think we need to tune this up definitely a bit. And then the auto exposure, turn that off. Auto contrast, turn on the saturation, color temperature, something like this. Can you create material so that article feels truly natural? Article, I'm not sure what you mean by article. Anyway. I think we need a more realistic fabric for the curtain as well. Let me go to the Enscape material library. Fabrics, let me choose, let's just go with this one. We're definitely getting closer here. What do you guys think? Let's go something like this. Let's tune down the saturation, keep it a bit lighter. I still don't like the curtain, to be honest. What if I take this off completely? It doesn't make a difference. What if I tone down the brightness of the HDRI? Do you use 3ds Max also? Yeah, I can use 3ds Max. I've done some work over there as well. I don't use it that often these days anyway. I think this just needs to be more towards brown as well. Not too much though, but let me check. I think this is closer to what we have in the image. Not exactly this, but I need to lower down the saturation to like 5. Yeah, I think this is closer. And then this needs to be towards brown a bit more as well. This needs to do the same as well. What else do we need here? Should I keep basing off this image? Because I don't think so. I don't like the HRI either. I think I'm just gonna take that off completely, and I'll just add something with I think I can just add something in later on with Photoshop if you guys want me to do some post-production as well. Do you want to see some post-production after? Let me know in the chat. Okay, this is not too bad. This curtain I hated, absolutely hated. I've been hating it since we put it there. What else do we actually need here? Let me check. This part needs to be, I mean, this is fine. Let's try and find a better curtain. Okay, you guys want to see post-production. Respekt për punën. Faleminderit shumë Besiam. Let's go. We did try this one, I think. I think we should try out this. Sure, why not? Yeah. I think most of you guys want to see some Photoshop as well. I'm learning V-Ray. Why are you learning V-Ray? Can you show your Enscape settings? Yeah, I'm going to do that right before we actually hit render on this one. I don't think we need a lot more work here. I would love to see some post-production. Wow, okay. Yeah, we can do that. Do you guys want to see more overall like Photoshop videos in the channel? Because I can definitely do so. By the way, just so you guys know, I'm gonna show something here real quick. This is a sneak peek for everyone who's watching the live stream. So this is what we're actually gonna, this is all the videos that are gonna be posted in November. We do have some pretty good stuff coming out, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you actually hit the notification bell so you don't miss. Almost there. Yeah, we're almost there. Let me take these off. Let's take these off as well. Let me move this to over here. Move forward. What's going on with these all these bad curtain models? Move this forward. I think this is gonna be fine. Let me just find a good fabric material. I think this one can work. I'm gonna use the color from the chair fabric, but yeah, let's go to fabrics once again. Let me check something out. Yeah, so if you guys haven't checked out 14-day realistic training program, I really advise you to do so. I don't know why you guys are postponing your transformation. If you really want to, as you can see, I've done this kind of stuff in the live stream multiple times. I've proved that stuff like this can happen within an hour. I'm not sure why you haven't taken action yet to actually see the transformation. If you think that you can still just do as good with YouTube only, I mean, fine, you can give it a try, but it's gonna take you at least 5 times as long. So, I mean, it's still your choice, whatever. What else do we need? I almost feel like this is gonna look better than this one in the end. We can kind of extend this magnetic light as well. What else are we gonna need here? Let's see. I'm new to all this. Can you import your own fabric patterns? If you have a seamless material, yeah, you can definitely do that. You can do that even if you don't have a seamless material, but it's not going to look well. This needs to be extended to, now it looks out of line with the gap in the ceiling. Come on, man. Okay, let's move this a bit more inside as well. No. Okay, fine. I'm gonna add some lights on the inside of these, the stove and the microwave. I actually didn't even plan this live stream, to be honest. I had some free time between some of my meetings today, so I was like, okay, I can just choose. I just chose a picture real quick from Pinterest, joined it, and just doing it right now. As you can see, pretty quick. Doesn't take too much time, so yeah, I thought I'd just give some value on this Saturday. I think most of you guys are gonna have more time to join and watch this on Saturdays because you probably don't have lessons or stuff like that on Saturdays, not even work. But yeah, I actually don't like the lights inside. Let me just take this off completely. I want to use the same glass material on both of these. Okay, this as well. A question: do you always 100% rely on Warehouse for searching the 3D model, or do you have any source for better 3D models outside for SketchUp? I do have some sources out there, as you know. Polyhaven is there. What else? I mean, you can just search for 3D models online. Some of them are paid, but to be honest, you don't need to do that. You can find pretty much anything over here. If you cannot find it, you probably can model it yourself. Yes, it's going to take some more time, but honestly, it's very rarely that I cannot find anything on the SketchUp Warehouse. And I mean, I've done it in multiple live streams. You have seen me find multiple assets in the 3D Warehouse. What else is left here? Okay, I have tried Lumion earlier, but I'm not impressed with the quality of Lumion. I am learning V-Ray, and I can say it may seem complex, but it has more controls and better results than Lumion. 100% Lumion. I'm not a fan of Lumion, to be honest. It was good until software like Enscape were out, but I just don't see the upside of having Lumion. But as far as V-Ray goes, V-Ray is very good software. Don't get me wrong. I think V-Ray is very good, but unless you're really trying to go out for something super, like if you just want to dedicate your whole life to 3D renders, then I don't think the time to quality ratio is worth it. Anyway, I'm going off a tangent here, but let me get back to work. What else do we need here? I'm looking for like a plant that I can place over here. What's a good plant that can look there? Good. What? Is this too big? Yeah, I think so. What was in the example? Let me just base off real quick. Oh, they're just some leaves. I think we can find something like this in the accessories. Do you have flower? I mean, yeah, I mean this can work fine. Let's just put this over here. Something else that will look good here is if I go to some of the other accessories. I think there's another kind of pod that looks good here. Wait. This would look good. I think this looks good here. And yeah, I don't want to make it a bit too much, but is the 14D course recorded? How many hours is it? Yes, it is recorded approximately. It is 20 hours, 20 something hours, but I mean the recordings and all of that are super helpful. I think that the 14-day realistic rendering program is like the upside is that you also get access to the private community where you will get feedback, you get a one-on-one call consultation with me personally and all of that. So yeah, I think there's not much left in this render. Maybe we can add something on this side if you wanted to, but it looks good enough to me. We can add later on, we can add that in Photoshop post-production if we wanted to. Let me go to the asset library. Do we need something from the kitchen here? I think we're gonna be fine, but watch me ruin the whole render with some stupid stuff that I'm gonna put there. This, I guess. I mean, that's fine. Let me just rotate that. Nah, I don't like it. Yeah, I'm just taking that off completely. And maybe this, I'm gonna move it over here. Let me not waste much more time here because I don't wanna take longer than it should. Does Enscape 3.5 really have a lot of improvement, different stuff compared to 3.4, which is the version I currently use? They both work fine. Honestly, I do not keep track too much of the changes. I just get the newest one anyway. So yeah. What do you think about Twinmotion? Trash. I'm kidding. Twinmotion is fine. I mean, it's fine. I just don't see the upside compared to Enscape. You guys know that I'm like an Enscape diehard fan. Not diehard. Obviously, I use other software as well. But yeah, I just see so many upsides to Enscape that it just fits my workflow perfectly. And yeah, I cannot compare it with much else, to be honest. Look, I think this is going to be fine before we go into post-production. I see a lot of things that can be improved for this image, but I don't waste any more time with this. If you want to see my settings, here you go. Not anything extra. Oh yeah, I should put this up to ultra. Image settings, auto contrast, saturation is always higher than default. Color temperature is a bit on the colder side, and that's just because I think it looks better that way. We can keep maybe like this as well. The effects, I'm going to turn them off. Bloom, all of these not needed. Shadow sharpness all the way down. Ambient brightness all the way up. We don't need this. We don't need fog and all of this. So I'm just going to take the render right now. Let me just go over here. I'll hit enter. I hated using it too long. Yeah, Twinmotion feels like yeah, 100%. Twinmotion not my favorite one. Okay. How long did it take us to actually render this? I'm not sure. I think an hour or something. Let me just open this up in Photoshop real quick. I'm not gonna do too much post-production. I'm just gonna. Have you guys seen the AI tool? That's pretty cool. If you haven't seen it until now, I'm gonna show it to you right in a second. Okay, this is the render we created here in. We have it in Photoshop. So here's what we can do with AI. Oh well, I don't have the. 1 second. Let me just reopen it again. Photoshop beta. Come on. Perfect. So here's what we can do. We can just select this part. Oh, actually, if I had the material ID, it would be much easier. But I guess I was lazy to do it. Yeah. 1 second. I think if I do something like this, which works fine. This. Not this. Okay. Perfect. Now what we can do here, let me just do whatever garden. Let's see. I don't ever bother to know anything about Twinmotion. Me neither. I really don't care about Twinmotion. Not worth it in my opinion. Okay. Generating, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. This is fine, but I mean we can do better. Come on, AI. So basically with just one click we can generate pretty cool stuff here. What the hell is this? Awful. Forest, as you can see, it's not good enough yet, but I mean whatever. I know it's not perfect, but I'm just trying to do this a bit quicker than what? Not all pixels were selected. I know you can do the color range, I know you can do the material ID, I know there's hundreds of different ways, but I just don't care. Yeah, this is not good. Here's some of the pixels. If you really want to be a crybaby about it and just care too much about it, I'm just gonna do this real quick and then we can add it later on. But yeah, I don't care. Let me just try it once again. Whatever. Basically, I'm just showing you what this can do. If you really want to see this in action, we can actually just put something like this in there. I can just copy an image from Google, paste it here, kind of tilt it a bit to match the perspective, I guess. Okay, let me just take this off. Let's go over here. Fuck off AI. And let me just select it. Select color range. If you earn money as a private project architect, you do not have too much time to spend to make renders, so I think Enscape is a great solution. Yeah, definitely. What do you think about Enscape and character animation, if it's going to be a game changer? No, that's not going to be added anytime soon. I do not think they're going to add that anytime soon. That's just going to make Enscape too heavy for computers, and they do not want that for their users as of now. So yeah, that's what it is. But I mean, do you really care about animated user people or cards or stuff like that? Do you have clients that actually request it? Because I rarely get those requests. Most people do not care. I personally do not care about animated people. I used to think it was cool, but most of the time it just makes renders look more unrealistic than it helps. So yeah. Okay, mask this out, and then what we can do here, we can try something like auto color, auto tone, auto contrast, whatever. I think this needs to be a bit softer. Let's add a layer for hue, saturation, or vibrance. I think that's going to be helpful as well. Vibrance, not as much. Saturation, a bit lower. What? Oh. Okay. I think this looks all right. But overall, I think this needs a bit more kind of contrast as an image. Whatever. Can you show the difference between using V-Ray tracing or not? I'm not too familiar with that. Anyway, let me just export this as PNG. Let me go over here, whatever. Post. The background could have looked better. We could have done it with an easier eye, but yeah, I guess this render looks fine. But yeah, since my work's almost 90% interior design, I don't really bother about people vehicle animation at all. Yeah, definitely me neither. Yeah. So this is going to be the render. One thing that I would maybe add to this is maybe some more saturation. I wish I could add saturation only to this and not to that part as well, but yeah. This should definitely be toned down. Let me see. I'm not even gonna bother too much with it. Okay, so thank you guys for staying in the live stream. I really appreciate this. I like to say thanks for the tutorials. I've been doing it for how long have I been doing 3D rendering? For 3-4 years. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and yeah, I mean, this is the image in Enscape. We did go from nothing to being based on this to something like that, which I think we came pretty close to. It's not perfect by any means, but we did have some limiting time constraints, and that's totally fine. So I hope you learned something from this, and I will definitely see you on the next one.